Welcome back to the big room featuring sleeves.
Woo! It's cold.
Oh my God, we're all in sleeves.
Even
Carl's not. Carl's not in sleeves. Carl's.
God.
Sleeves. I just can't raise my arms too much.
Oh, that's how
higher.
long they are. They're
too
weighing him
heavy.
down.
Yeah.
The sleeves are under his
They're
feet.
very long sleeves.
Yeah. It's cold. It's 45 degrees in Florida, which is crazy.
That's crazy.
Carl, what's your temp?
It was like 30 something this morning, 20
cold.
something, but
Well, it was-
the
yeah.
wind's like 30 miles an hour. It's crazy.
Wow.
Oh,
He's not in Kansas anymore.
Yeah.
Speaking of Kansas and movies with plots where the antagonist wants to kill the protagonist's dog, we watched Wizard of Oz last week, but we watched Gremlin.
wait, was this in Kansas?
No, dude. But the dog, the old lady wanted to
okay,
kill the
okay,
dog.
okay,
Yeah, that was the connection.
Yeah, I was like, not this shit again.
No way.
Same. I was like,
Not
again?
already.
Yeah, and I didn't do that on purpose.
At one point, she even says, "I'll get you."
Yeah.
Yeah.
My pretty.
Yeah.
Gremlins. We watched Gremlins. 1984. Gremlins. This was me pick. Because I watched this movie when I was like 12. And can I just say, I remember like jack shit. I remember like no part of the movie. Except for the standard stairlift scene. Because
That
is
took me out.
Oh my
cinema.
God.
It's maybe one of my favorite on-screen deaths of all time. We're getting way, way, way ahead of ourselves. This is a 1984 fantasy comedy horror film. How many adjectives can a film have?
Fantasy
It released.
comedy.
All right. This is my biggest beef with the movie, and it was also a lot of the reviewers' big beefs with the movie. This movie released on June 8th.
What?
1984. What the hell were they thinking? It's a Christmas movie. If they released this on December 12th, it would have been. It might have made an extra $.
Yep. That's straight. I wonder if I got
They
like
think maybe the
delayed.
word of mouth it'll be a Christmas flick by the time it happened. Like
I don't know what the hell they were thinking, but it should have been a
Maybe
Christmas movie.
we can bring it back in December too.
Nah. Budget. Budget was 11 million, which was over budget, but it made 212.9 million at the box, which
Okay,
is
so
lot
it's
of
still
millions.
been good.
That's
a
so-
little bit.
that's a successful movie when you make 20 times your budget. Can't complain. Spielberg executive produced, and a guy named Chris Columbus wrote it.
Christopher Columbus.
Yes.
Did he sail the ocean blue?
No, he didn't. He wrote Gremlins.
Oh, okay.
Or directed it. I can't remember. I didn't write all the credits down because I couldn't be bothered. So, no, I was shown this by a childhood friend of mine whose dad, like, he worked at Disney, just a big, like, film nerd.
Yes.
And so she was like, you gotta watch Gremlins. And I was like, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I watched a lot of, like, I guess seminal, in air quotes, movies. Like, I saw Indiana Jones for the first time at her house. Coneheads.
Oh my God.
Watched Coneheads.
Is that
for the first
any
time.
good?
Is that a seminal movie?
No, it's an SNL sketch, like turned into
Oh,
a movie,
okay.
or a movie turned into a sketch or something. Like, I remember being vaguely funny, but also was distinctly aware that I was born like 40 years too young to get it, and was also like 15 years too young to get it. So it's like a perfect storm. I don't really understand this. I think they chewed condoms thinking it was chewing gum. It's a crazy movie. What other movies did I see over there? The Star Wars Christmas special, which is like the worst thing I've ever watched that isn't called Gone with the Wind. It's an atrocity. I think it's on Disney Plus now. Don't watch it. It is abhorrent.
Not even just once.
No. It's so bad that I'm pretty sure George Lucas tried to track down all physical copies to have it destroyed.
Whoa.
It is awful. Don't watch that.
right.
And a bunch of other stuff. I saw Pirates of the Caribbean for the first time over at her house. So I watched a lot of movies.
Oh, nice.
And this was one of them. Gremlins was one of them. I had night terrors as a kid, and this movie didn't freak me out that bad. It's a PG movie, but I'm stealing Nick's fact here. I'm gonna steal it. So no, you know what? I'll let you have it, but I'm gonna tee you up. So
right.
this movie and Temple of Doom both came out in 1984. Both Spielberg tied films. Both terrorized audiences. And what happened as a result?
As a result of this, they came up with the PG-13 rating.
Oh, wow.
Specifically with this movie, with the mom in the kitchen scene fighting all the gremlins.
Stabbed a
Throwing them in the
gremlin with a knife,
microwave.
yeah.
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 Freaking
That was-
nuts.
As soon as it like blew up, I was like, Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
Spielberg! Because I for some reason I saw his name and I thought he directed this. So the whole time I was going, Steven, what are you doing, Steven? like there were so many scenes.
Steven
And then I like
H.
looked it
Christ.
up later and I was like, oh right, he didn't do this.
He
my
didn't
bad.
do well. He did
Produced,
He
but-
executive produced it for us. Yeah, this is a trope on an RAF, Royal Air Force, World War II. Like, what do you call it?
Wives' Tale.
Not that. That's not the word I'm looking for. Not conspiracy either, though. But so in that vein, I can't think of the word. But they had like it was kind of a thing they used. They had mysterious mechanical problems
Propaganda?
with their airplanes to fall out of the sky. Like they had airplane issues, and so they called them like electrical gremlins. And the gremlins they messed with our plane or whatever. And I think it was
Gotcha.
maybe like there was. Not propaganda posters, because that's the wrong word.
Propaganda feels too serious.
It does feel too serious, because this was like internal. This was for the military. Like, watch out for gremlins, meaning like double check your airplane.
Colloquialism.
Kind of like a wash your hands before you leave the bathroom.
yeah,
little
kind
poster.
of, but more like groovy, and that Rosie the Riveter like groovy poster style. Of the 40s.
right.
Like, super sick. So that's why we say gremlins. It's because of the war, just like everything else. I love the war.
Title, yeah.
So,
I love the war. Gremlins.
This movie is wild, man. It's short, which is nice. It's like
It's
an hour
insane.
45, which is cool.
A lot of hour 40 minutes lately. I'm really liking
loving
it.
loving
It's
it.
good.
Loving
it's a good
it.
spot.
Sweet spot.
Got another
yeah.
short movie next week, which we'll get to at the end of the show. Yep, we got some real. I mean, Gremlins is a Christmas movie, but if you're listening, our next two movies are like Christmas movies, man. And it's not like bummer movies. Like we're not watching It's a Wonderful Life because Danielle would leave the show.
It's a Wonderful. Have I ranted about this before?
I'm sure you have. You hate It's a Wonderful Life. I've never seen it.
Have you
I
guys?
don't. I haven't seen it, and I haven't
Well,
heard a
'cause
rant.
isn't it like 99%?
You've heard the rant?
I hate the
No.
holidays and want to kill myself, and then right at the very end, he's like, "Yay, Christmas!"
No. Everything bad. So he's like down on his luck, and he's like, nothing goes right in my life. I wish I was never born. So then we spend like 2+ hours watching him watch everything in his life crumble to pieces and be terrible. And then the last 15 seconds, he's back, and he's like, I love my family.
But is it
the
like
end.
is it like a Scroogey, like he's there but not there, watching everything go wrong?
I don't know if
Or is he
I don't know
actually
if the other
there?
characters are aware of him being there and they just don't know who he is, or if it's a Scrooge out of body experience.
It is 2 hours and 10 minutes.
I don't
That's quite
remember.
long for
It's-
Was that the movie that was being played in this movie? That was
Yes.
black and white.
Yes. Yep.
I wrote
I
it.
was going to ask that.
I wrote it down because she would be sad after watching that movie. That movie's sad.
Doesn't she
and it
call it a sad
sucks.
movie?
Yes.
Yeah, because it's sad.
Mom.
the guy
Hey-
in that movie looked really familiar. I meant to look it up.
In this movie or
No, in
sorry.
the movie that was playing
No,
in
so
the.
there's a couple different movies that play, and there's one movie that plays. I believe it's the race car movie.
Yeah,
that I didn't
yeah,
bother to
yeah.
look up. That guy is from Gone with the Wind. That's the
Oh
husband.
yeah,
that's the husband.
Oh.
the mustache guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Rhett Butler.
The stair
Rhett.
pusher.
Also terrible.
I try to forget that movie.
The frankly,
Trash.
my dear, I don't give a damn guy.
Yep.
I don't
That-
gi- I don't give a damn
I
about
need a
you.
certain kind of woman, and then he like kisses her. I was like, oh god.
Yeah, that's,
Brad, get out of here.
that movie blows so hard.
Like the wind.
I can't. It blows like the wind. But a wind made of dicks. It sucks so bad. It's just a horrible,
A wind made of dicks.
Oh, a real floppy wind.
a floppy, like you're walking through, you've got your umbrella and just flaccid.
just being pelted.
This is a PG-13 show.
Thank God for the new rating.
Thank God for Spielberg.
Yeah.
Anyways, we got distracted by It's a Wonderful Life.
Well, yeah. 'cause
We're
of
gonna
course
watch
we did.
good Christmas movies.
Danielle,
later
do you
this
know who
month.
voiced Gizmo?
No.
Howie Mandel.
From
Whoa.
from Deal or No Deal.
Of Deal or No Deal fame.
What?
He voiced Gizmo. He also voiced like there was a like a Baby Muppets show or something. He voiced a bunch of Muppets. He had a voice acting career.
He would just.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good for him.
Howie Mandel voiced
Interesting.
Gizmo.
That's how he got like his start in entertainment. I thought he was. a
I
comedian
don't
first
think
or something.
so.
Billy.
But it was relatively early, but I think he had some stuff going on in the late 70s. So.
He played that blue dude in that one movie.
No.
Oh, Nick.
Howie Mandel?
No.
No, Nick.
No.
What? I didn't even name a movie. How do you even know what I'm talking
How
about?
many
David.
blue Big Fat Liar?
Big fat lie.
No.
hear
I'm gonna look this up because I'm so right on
How
this.
Paul
many-
Giamatti.
Yeah.
No. Way earlier than
Yes.
that.
Is there another blue movie?
Paul Giamatti.
Smurfs?
You're not talking about with
Mandel, blue guy is
my
what I'm
God.
googling.
We're doing it live.
Little Monsters.
What the hell is that?
Well, I'm glad
A
you're right.
great movie
the
with,
hell is
with Howie Mandel as a blue
What
monster.
the hell is that?
I'm right. You guys
You are
suck.
But no, 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 no.
So weird.
right.
Here's what, like, you said blue guy in a
right.
movie, and 3 out of 100% of the United States population thought of Paul Giamatti in Big Fat Liar.
With Frankie Muniz, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Guys, the pool
But we were
blues
talking
scream.
about
What
Howie.
movie? What is that movie?
Little Monsters. He's the
Yeah, I've
monster
never
under the
heard-
bed, and he comes.
Oh.
Has anyone seen this other than you? Is this a buttercream
That
gang
is, no,
2.0?
dude, that is a popular movie with
Don't believe you.
Fred Savage. Come on,
Ah, yes.
Oh, interesting.
Is that
I know who that is.
the Wonder
The
Years
Wonder
kid?
Years.
Hey, look at me, I knew.
listen, I know things. All right.
Fonzie.
There's like, so what's funny about this show is that we started it because Nick and I haven't seen anything, but Nick and I also haven't seen any of the same things. We're a parallel set of non-intersecting train tracks. Just over here, like he didn't watch Star Wars until he was 40. I've never seen that shit. Like,
I've never heard of that shit.
well, yeah. Carl like watches stuff over and over and over, and he's never seen.
At least 5 times.
How many times did you watch Gremlins?
I watched it once. Well, actually, I should preface
There's
this.
no way you watched it once.
There may not be a perfect way to watch this movie, but I think I got very close.
Oh boy,
So
paint
I
us a
sat down.
scene.
how many
With the-
vitamins?
I sat down with a big sloppy pizza and then a cold beer. And halfway through that beer, remembered I had taken edibles.
How
and
many?
then
How
the
many?
rest of the movie, just one.
Milligrams.
But it was like 10. So then
Okay.
the rest of the movie was just bliss. I was just like, holy shit! I took so many notes. I was like, this movie is fantastic. I was like, I wrote one of my notes. I was like, I'm so excited to do the podcast. It's like, just because this movie is so ridiculous, like, but if you can watch that movie for the first time that way, that's the way.
Dang.
It was perfect. It was, yeah,
That sounds
everything
like
I wanted in a movie.
That sounds like a quintessentially 1990s experience.
It was so perfect.
Cold
yeah,
beer,
it was,
big pizza, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, stringy cheese pull pizza.
Well, oh my god, it's funny you say that. One of my notes was, could these guys fight the Ninja Turtles? They seem resilient.
They seem resilient. They really got it in them.
Genius. They might be a worthy adversary.
All right,
My notes are just ridiculous.
I'm gonna cry. All right,
Oh man.
so I'm the only one who'd seen this before.
Yeah.
Nobody else.
Nope.
So, Gremlins. Have you heard like Gremlins and like the colloquialisms of America before as like a turn of phrase? Had you like? Were you just like these Furbies look weird? What was the experience?
I knew they looked like Furbies, and I knew you don't feed them after midnight.
Okay.
That's
yeah,
it.
right.
Literally
that's,
the same.
That's a big thing.
Yeah.
Like the don't feed them after midnight is from this.
I didn't even hear the other two rules. I just knew the midnight.
Yeah.
No water
same.
and no.
But I do have a
no
question
bright light
about
of
like
sunlight.
when after midnight is it okay to feed them again? Because technically it's always after midnight. Like is
Also-
it 6 a.m. when they
my
wake up?
God.
Is it when sun rises?
What about your time zone?
The rules.
Yeah, what about time zone?
Well, they like anybody's body clocks would adjust. I assume it's like
I would assume
Yeah.
like the sunrise
So
would
is it
signal
just-
the end of midnight.
A time period where they don't have to eat.
right.
Is it
Can't
just
eat in
do
12
they need
hours.
to strictly adhere to like intermittent fasting? Like what's
Well, this is this,
What are the rules? Yeah.
All right, see, this is crazy because Danielle, when we started the movie, she was like, "Is this going to be another situation where we're not going to know the rules?" I'm like, "No, there's 3 rules, and they are very straightforward." And then you dumbasses come along. You know what?
I
You know what the
kind of
thing
just
is?
wanted to know. I
There's-
don't think it
no,
messes up
there's
the
a
movie.
lore
though.
explanation for this, and it's white people weren't ready for these things yet. Like, it's what the guy said. You
we
didn't want to
just
sell it to him, dude.
Yeah.
You didn't want to sell it to him. What was his
Interesting
name?
choice of words.
Crap.
The store owner or the dad?
The store owner, Mr. Wing. So the actor that played him was like 80, right? And he's playing an old, ostensibly Chinese guy,
Yeah.
an antique shop owner. However, he looked, despite being in his 80s, he looked too young. So they had to age him up with makeup.
With the eye.
Yeah. So he's wearing like aging makeup, even though he's an 80-year-old man, because his skin was so good.
That's crazy.
What a problem to have.
Yeah. You look too young.
And he died like 3 years later.
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, yeah, he's 1,000,000 years old.
Yeah.
But he got to be in this masterpiece, so.
He did. get
And
to-
Gremlins too.
And Gremlins too. Yeah.
Nice.
Empire Strikes Back.
There it is.
There's not been a Gremlins 3, but there's a Gremlins animated show on HBO right now, and like the
like
the second
a new show.
yeah, like the second season came out like October 3rd of this year.
Huh.
So and then a third Gremlins film has been being like kicked around for decades.
Oh my god.
Because the
I had so
second
many
one sucked
ideas.
apparently, and Spielberg wasn't involved at all, and the original writer like hated Gremlins 2, so he wants to undo it. And as recently as like 2021, there was a script floating around, and it's pretty open ended. Like we could still get a Gremlins 3. Although I think that without the 80s-ness.
Right. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would love to see a million spin-offs. I want to see like an Alien Gremlins hybrid. Like that could be interesting.
Like an AVP, but Gremlins.
Yeah, but Gremlins. I've already mentioned the Ninja Turtles versus Gremlins. I think would be a great spin-off. I think. Let's see them fight the Avengers. Let's see what they do.
Rocket Raccoon versus Stripe.
Let's really just wring that rag dry and see what happens.
I just don't want a CGI Gremlin.
Well, yeah.
No,
which is what it would be now.
They were originally supposed to be. They did a test where the Gremlins were going to be monkeys, like monkey actors, and then they put a Gremlin head on one, and it freaked out. So they were actually robots / like string puppets, like marionette puppets. And there's one.
The movie
scene,
was really good.
Yeah, there's one scene where they're all walking, and it's like clearly stop animated. That's like the one rough.
Yeah.
But like. That's the thing that I was talking about a couple movies ago, where that's the kind of rough I like. That's the charming rough. Like they're working on a problem in a practical way. That's sick. I enjoy that. So they had a lot of frustrations with the Gizmo robots because he's smaller than the rest. He doesn't have the transformation where he gets quite large. So he maintains his small size the whole time. And because he maintains his small size for so long, there's more scenes where he's small, obviously, than the other ones. Because they get fed after midnight pretty quickly and become huge. Yeah. And when you make a robot bigger, you have more space for the like mechanical aspects. You don't have the size constraint of like making it work. So in that, Gizmo broke down all the time.
Poor Gizmo.
All the time. And because of that, the crew hated Gizmo, the robot. And I have a thing that I ripped straight from Wikipedia. So the scene where the Gremlins are throwing darts at Gizmo was added as catharsis for the crew members.
My
This is
God.
absolutely true. Added as catharsis for the
God.
crew members who worked on the Gizmo robots, which frequently broke down due to their smaller size and consequential design restraints. This was included, the throwing the darts at Gizmo, was included on a list that the crew created, known to them as the, quote, horrible things to do to Gizmo list.
Oh my God.
They hated this robot.
That's so dramatic.
Yeah, but I've had like marketing reports like that where we
Yeah.
hate that, but that was Gizmo for them.
Yeah.
You know,
Wow.
he's not a cute, cuddly thing. He's like got
God,
gears
it's
in
so
him.
funny.
That's why he
It's like the
crashed
dad
his
in this
little
movie made him.
crashed his little Barbie car.
Yeah. Got like F this thing. It sucks. So I love that. That's a great.
I did like that, like, this wasn't a game of telephone with the rules. Like, it wasn't like, oh, don't feed him after 7. It was like, they got all the rules right. They just didn't do it right. They just didn't follow them.
Right. And like, you know, the
because
one,
that would have been cheap.
the one kid spills the water on him on accident, and then they
Yeah, they didn't mean the first.
Was that his? I thought it was his brother, but it's like
Friend.
just some random young kid.
friend of his.
It's like half his age. It's so weird.
Yeah, he's interestingly old. Like I couldn't
But
tell.
also, the main character, I forget, Billy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Billy.
Billy's in middle school, but he looks like a senior in high school.
He can't be in middle
And he's
school. He
working
drives
at a
a car.
bank.
Oh, he does drive
It's
a car.
his-
He
And he
came
works-
out of a middle school,
He
though.
goes to visit his old teacher
Oh, okay. That makes
to
sense.
bring
That makes sense.
one of the Mogwai over there. It's not his current teacher.
I was going to say, he does not
Yeah.
look like a
I think
middle
we can
schooler.
pin him as 16, 17, or 18, like
Yeah.
up in there. Because he's old
Younger
enough.
kid-
His like love interest works in a bar,
True.
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
doesn't mean she's 21, but it probably means she's 18. So he's probably ostensibly. We
Gotta
could
be, like,
assume
21
senior in
to
high
serve,
school.
I think.
Like he looks 18.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that probably depends on where you're at in the world.
And it was
know.
the 80s, so.
It was the 80s. There were no rules. We were all doing PCP and playing Dungeons and Dragons. The Satanic Panic was in full swing. Quaaludes were still around.
Okay.
I don't even know what that is.
Trope of like, you remember the younger brother from Crazy Stupid Love who was like wise beyond his years or whatever?
Oh shit, crazy.
He kind of reminded me of that kid.
What happened in Crazy
Yeah,
Stupid
the
Love?
Steve Carell's kid.
Yeah.
Oh
movie,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Even the same like haircut and kind of like mannerisms. It kind of even looked like him.
Right. Yeah, I
But-
like the. I like the age coming off of like Wizard of Oz. I didn't have as many problems with the age of the protagonist.
Yeah.
So, when I was trying to sell Danielle on this movie before we watched it, because I'm like, it's vaguely horror, but not really. It's super 80s, and I don't know how 80s it is, but I kind of was like, feel-wise, vibe-wise, its 80s-ness is kind of, what did I say? Like Back to the Future.
Back to the Future and
Said another movie, too.
yeah, I don't remember.
There
that
were,
one you said. Two that I liked.
Yeah.
There were some set pieces from Back to the Future in this movie.
Oh.
Movie marquees, a lot of the set obviously because they're set pieces. But yeah, a lot of the set was from that movie.
And
Shared.
then the antique owner, the old man, his grandson was wearing the New York Yankees hat, and I'm like, it's Short Round.
Oh yeah.
But that movie hadn't come out yet.
Short Round.
Oh my god!
Oh,
Nick,
Nick.
watch
Maybe
a
Short
movie.
Round.
Oh, it's a movie. It's a movie. Okay.
No, it's not a movie. It's a character in Temple of Doom.
It's a character. Got
Have
it.
you not seen
How do you
any Indiana
not-
Jones movies?
You knew the blue
I
guy
have.
is.
How yeah, what the hell, man? You're like, oh yeah, the Howie Mandel, not from Deal or No Deal, it's from this freak ass merman movie. Like what?
Yeah.
And then, but you've
I
not
only
seen
know
Temple
deep
of
cuts,
Doom.
guys. Yeah.
Which one's that?
The second
second
one.
one.
Yeah, I have
Kali
seen that.
Ma.
I have seen that. I have
Okay,
seen that.
Then how did you forget the most irritating
Short Round.
child? Dr.
Guys.
Jones! Dr. Jones! Are you shitting me?
Oh,
All right, we're ending the show, and he's got to go watch Temple of Doom.
right now.
How did you like that movie has the most irritating co-star and the most irritating female in
I just need
Indiana
to see a
Jones
picture.
history?
I just need to see.
It's the Asian kid in the New York
You
baseball
just
hat.
saw him in this movie.
Yeah,
Oh, it's the same kid. I thought you meant
it's
the
not
hat.
the same kid, but the
No.
hat.
I'm caught up.
It's a Yankees hat. It's like the most ubiquitous.
I should maybe
baseball hat.
rewatch that movie.
You
Is what I
think?
just learned.
Yeah.
No, Temple of Doom.
I watched it in theaters during COVID.
Here's the thing.
Oh.
Here's the thing. Temple of Doom sucks, right?
Yes.
Yeah, all the Indiana Jones movies except for Raiders of the Lost Ark suck. And
Yeah.
argue with the wall. They just do. They're not as good. They jump the shark with Temple of Doom, and then they consecutively jump the shark. Temple of Doom is the most believable of the Indiana Jones films because all the stunts scan, right?
You mean the
But
first
doesn't
one?
The
He-
first one, yes.
first one,
Yeah, Raiders
yeah.
of the Lost Ark. All the stunts scan.
Yeah.
There's no jumping out of an airplane and
was
using a
gonna
raft
say.
as a parachute. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do
That's
remember that
insane.
because that's insane.
And as far as like mythology goes, and I get that they're all mythological, and they kind of ramp it up each and every time, which is why we end up with aliens in the fourth one. And I haven't seen the fifth one because Crystal Skull
Spoilers.
is the biggest piece of dog shit movie. But like the Ark of the Covenant's are really cool one to start with.
Yeah.
It's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got its own rules. Everybody knows the rules if you've read the Bible at any point, or if, you know, like you can't touch it, you can't look at it, you melt and all that shit, and it's cool. And it builds to that. There's Nazis in it. It's awesome. And then immediately they're like crazy tribe that rips people's hearts out, and there's like insane Asian
They
stereotype.
lower
of a horrible
you
woman. It's crazy.
into a chamber of lava.
Yeah, and the third one's like Sean Connery's cool. I think the third one is leaps and bounds ahead of Temple of Doom. But like for me, Raiders is on a plinth of its own. You know what I mean? Like it's just so much better than any of the rest of the Indiana Jones movies. And David's like punching his car right now because he totally disagrees. He loves Crystal Skull, which I don't know what lead paint he was sucking on as a kid, but wow, that movie is awful. It's awful. Awful.
Ugh.
So bad. There's like big ants in it. What the hell, man?
Where are they at? South America? There could be big ants there. Human-sized ants.
No, there's big ants. They're like poodle-sized ants. They're stupidest movie. You can't
Maybe
survive
he's a poodle.
a nuclear explosion in a fridge. It's not believable. It just isn't.
No.
This isn't believable. Everything, like in the first one, what is our suspension of disbelief? You can swing across a chasm on a whip. Yeah, you can do that. The Mythbusters did it because you can do it. It's cool. Can you run away from a big rock? Yeah.
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 You
Can you jump out of an
don't
airplane
remember
on a
any of these
life?
movies.
You don't remember anything, man.
I remember the first one and
Do you
vaguely
remember-
the second
Do
one.
you remember Gremlins?
Barely.
Oh.
I don't want to talk about.
We've
Indiana
already-
Jones.
I'll never forget this movie.
This is a good movie.
No, this is legitimately one of the funnest movies I think we've watched.
Good. What? Do
Yeah.
you agree with that?
I
Was
had-
it fun?
Yes, it was fun.
A freaking blast.
I'm
One of
so
my notes was I
relieved.
haven't had this much fun in a movie since Roadhouse. Like,
wow,
ridiculousness
No
of it,
way.
which is the
This
first
is-
movie we did.
This is that was 95 movies ago.
No way.
Well, it delivered that same kind of like absurdist,
actually
like I
97.
can't believe this is a movie, like kind of experience.
But that's the
you know.
80s.
And like every
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like it was like the whole time I was like, I can't believe they're microwaving a gremlin and it fucking its guts exploded. And I was like, this is PG.
You know the
I'm like,
movie-
there's a gremlin that flashes that girl.
Yeah.
And I was like, Steven!
You know the movie that to that point, like really fun movie that's kind of crazy that you're like sitting here going, how does this work? But it does. I think the closest thing we have to that in the modern, like big blockbuster film run, Barbie.
Oh,
Barbie's
Yeah.
the one movie where we went, Barbie. Like, you remember seeing the press shots with Gosling and Margot Robbie?
Everyone made
like,
fun
in
of
pink,
them.
I
and you're like,
thought
what?
for sure it was fake.
Like,
Yeah.
this is dumb. And then you watch it, and it's the best movie to come out last year. It's so good. Was that last year?
Yes, it was last
Yeah,
year.
it was the best
There's
movie
so many
to come
great
out last year.
lines when he just goes sublime.
Yeah.
Like, I died like so many.
It's,
So
that's
funny.
it. And Gremlins, that captured the spirit of like, how is this getting made? But it's amazing kind of deal.
Yeah, how
like,
did they sell this?
like Barbie is one of
So
those like
funny.
they don't make movies like this anymore, but they did, and it worked, and it made $1 jillion.
Yeah.
So I hope we get more. I want
Movies
more weird
back.
movies.
Movies are back.
They are the
Movies
like,
are-
this
Movies are so bad.
No, this holiday weekend was like one of the most successful holiday weekends
Yeah.
in years because we had Gladiator 2, we had Wicked, and we had Moana 2. And Moana 2 made like $1 billion jillion. It made like 260 million opening weekend. Opening weekend.
It's a lot.
So the theater's back. I'm hoping for. Like we went and saw Wicked Saturday after Thanksgiving, and it was busy, and we were like at a matinee.
Apparently, the other theater was like sold out.
Yeah,
That's what
Wow.
I had 2 people telling me that on Saturday.
Like,
They
we-
wanted to go to Epic and they couldn't.
and
'cause
we
it was
watched the
sold out.
movie at noon.
Just
and it was
crazy.
jammed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, the theater hasn't felt this good since I saw Force Awakens. In like, when did that movie come out? 2015.
Yeah.
in the
that's so
same
long.
theater
Crazy.
we just watched Wicked in.
Yeah, except we watched Wicked. And this is not Danielle's fault.
It's not my
Regal's
fault.
fault.
It's not my
The
fault.
Regal app listed our theater. I don't even remember what theater number it was.
It said IMAX 2D.
As IMAX 2D, and boy, was it ScreenX.
It was ScreenX.
And ScreenX is dumb as hell.
They have ScreenX on another line. Like, so why would you have IMAX 2D and then ScreenX on another
So
line?
ScreenX is technically IMAX then.
I guess.
I don't know because
Like it
there's
meets those standards. or
also a
whatever.
line that says standard ScreenX. So I don't know.
I
Are
think
there
Regal's
two?
drunk.
I think
Yeah.
they're drunk.
So we're not talking enough about Gremlins and Gremlins.
No, we're not. We keep getting distracted. Phoebe, my dog, is a gremlin.
Yeah, she looks
she
Which
is
one?
Gizmo.
Okay.
Our first reveal of Gizmo, my immediate reaction was, it's Phoebe.
It's Phoebe. Yeah.
She just pops up with those little eyes.
She looks like a cross between a gremlin and an Ewok. She just does.
Oh my
It's
god.
true.
It's hysterical.
That's
I
what she
really
is.
like the look of the Gremlins.
Yeah,
Like they kind of feel like the Raptors, like that kind of threat
What?
from Jurassic Park. Well, because they're just like they're
The
reptilian.
fingies and the like.
Yeah, they're like
you're
they
right.
can
Okay,
they
you're
do
talking
things. They're
about-
doing science and shit. Like they're doing
They're
science.
so smart.
You're talking about post
Yeah, how do they
transformation.
know science? Yeah. Sorry, yeah, the Gremlins, not the
cute-
Mogwai.
How do they know
Mogwai.
car mechanics? Like they're
Yeah.
ripping out
How do
brakes.
they-
Like how do they know
know?
what a brake is?
That
All the things they mess with are electronic and automotive, like machine. Because the Gremlins. That's
that part of
whole-
the lore?
That is part of the lore. That's why at the very end, he's like, next time your washing machine works, turn on all the lights, check all the cabinets, check under the bed. You might have Gremlins.
great
Okay.
freaking closing
Interesting.
line.
It ties it into the
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
mythos of Gremlins in the 1940s.
I love how
love
smart
the-
they
oh.
are. Because like
Say it, well, all right, say it at the same time. 1, 2. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
just say that like it would be cool if they were just monsters, whatever. But like they're smart about it, like, and that makes them evil, and that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, it gives their evilness.
They're
not
devious and
they're not like,
mischievous.
it's like
Yeah.
the opposite of zombies, which are brainless and their strength is in
Yeah.
numbers and like
These are
spreading
like
infection.
tactical.
Yeah, and the rules that make them spread, the water, for example, is like ends up being one of the most important rules because there's water everywhere.
Everywhere.
Like they go into that Olympic pool at the Y or whatever, and there's
Dude,
so many gremlins.
he jumped in there
M. Night
and
Shyamalan saw this and was like, I have an idea for a movie.
what if we put a lady in the water?
Not where
They-
I was going with it, but okay.
Wait,
M. Night
This is
Shyamalan
another
movie.
instance where
That's a
you're taking
clear-
it to I'm talking about signs.
I've never seen Signs.
What were you
Oh,
talking
Nick.
about?
Lady in the water.
What the hell is that?
I don't know. I
This
just
is
know
another
it's a
deep cut from
Shyamalan
Nick.
and there's a lady in the water. That seemed like the clear connection.
I can't watch Shyamalan because I won't sleep.
yeah.
So, Carl, what were you gonna say? Or Nick, what were you gonna say? Someone was talking.
No,
I was gonna say I really. you go, Nick.
Carl's on a slight delay because he's in Nashville, so this is fantastic.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. No, they jumped in the water in the pool, and I was like, "This is how the world ends." Like my brain started processing. I was like, "They're just going to keep going. They're going to be birthed under there, and then those are going to birth more, and then they're just going to take over the
Birth
world. This
more.
is how
It's
the
like
world
an
ends."
avalanche, like the roof comes off of the Y, and it's just a pile of gremlins.
And then I was like, "No, the sun just hasn't come up."
Yeah. But then, like, yeah, the rules are kind of strange because once they've transformed, they make already transformed gremlins.
That doesn't make any sense. I don't think.
Well, they've evolved
yeah.
though, so it's like you wouldn't evolve.
But if you have
backwards.
to go into a cocoon to mature, like, just be.
it may not be
You
a
can't
maturation. It might
not
have been
be
a
an
like a
egg just because you have an
duplicate.
adult
No,
chicken.
I think it's more of that. I think it's not a maturation as much as an evolution.
Okay.
It's like how
That's
a
how I took
caterpillar
it.
becomes a butterfly, and then when you get water on a butterfly, it makes another butterfly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not.
Just like in real life.
But butterflies don't make more butterflies. They make
No, they do. That's what
caterpillars.
he's saying.
They
They
make,
do.
but they
No,
make caterpillars.
if you get water on them, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've never seen like a butterfly in the rain because it'd be
there's-
just butterflies everywhere.
Yeah. They have to hide. 'cause there'd
It
be
was
so
in a,
many.
it was in
And
a
it hurts them.
documentary. Yeah.
It's called Planet Earth, I think.
Yeah. It was really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Rape
was gonna
finds.
say-
Wait,
Can we talk about that?
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Let's
so
clear that up.
Pissed off at this guy's name. So, what movie did we watch with Ray Fiennes in it?
Grand Budapest
Grand
Hotel.
Budapest Hotel, which is amazing, and he's amazing in it. Your first name is spelled RALPH, and people are commenting on the internet at me because your name is spelled Ralph, and you're taking this lowercase I and putting a line in it and making it starting as L and an I, Rafe with an L. No, sir. No, sir. I don't care that you're Voldemort. I don't care. I don't care. Your name is Ralph, man.
The L is silent in Voldemort too. It's Voldemort.
Voldemort.
Voldemort. What?
Why did you have a stroke with Voldemort?
Well, you're not supposed to say his name.
Ray Fiennes, dude.
Boo.
Ray Fiennes.
Boo.
I was going to say
learn how to
20
say
minutes
your
ago
name.
that I thought it was
I'm like,
really cool with the what was the song that they played? Do you hear what I hear? But they used it as like a sinister thing.
yeah.
That was really
That's
great.
dope though. That's like was it Saw that used Tiny Tim's Tiptoe Through the Tulips
not
and made it
sure.
scary, or was some horror movie did like 20 years ago?
I did do a Cameron, and as soon as the Gremlins
She made a brilliant statement.
came out of their pod, their cocoons, I looked up the plot because I didn't know how scary.
I looked up the plot of the whole movie because I not out of like trying to spoil myself, but because I was so pissed off I couldn't remember what happened.
I just didn't know how like intense we were gonna get because it's labeled horror, so I
It
just
is.
wanted to be ready. But then
Yeah,
it
but
was
so is Monster House.
it wasn't that bad.
It's PG.
It was fine.
Yeah, it's,
PG.
they kind of get like Casper's uncles with the ridiculousness. It's more like that kind of absurd. It's not
Yeah.
like super scary.
Well, and that leads us into, we got to talk about the standard stairlift death, which is like the
Oh my
greatest.
god.
It's so funny because you got this lady that you hate, right? And then it's like the film goes.
She's Scrooge.
but that
She
wasn't
is
her, though,
Scrooge.
was it?
She is Scrooge. No, it was. It's her.
I thought that was a different old lady.
No. That's the old lady that wants to kill the dog.
Well, good.
Yeah, exactly. It's
I
you
thought
know
it
what
was a
does?
random old lady.
It heals us from our Wizard of
Yeah.
Oz trauma. Because the witch parallel in the
Closure.
real world doesn't give us closure. We have no idea what happens to that lady that wants to kill Toto. But in this movie, an old lady that wants to kill the dog flies out of her window off of her standard stairlift, and it's incredible because it's the most satisfying villain death for me, like ever. It's so funny.
I literally wrote, "Holy shit!" They launched her ass out of her own house.
What's funny is
That's how I was sold on this movie as a 12-year-old. Is you'll love one of the deaths in this, and I'm told
Oh, nice.
deaths. And I'm a 12-year-old night terrors about how the book Where the Red Fern Grows made me wake up screaming at night because of the axe deaths when the kids fall in the accident. And it was sold like this movie, like it's scary but it's not, and there's a death with a stairlift that you'll love, and I'm like 12 and don't know what a stairlift is, and that's how I learned what a stairlift was. But
what's
it's
great
incredible.
is before that death, the gremlins break into her house and she's like, I'm not ready to die, and like has a real she's freaked out. And I'm like, oh, she might have a heel turn. Like she might get better and like
Face turn.
not heel turn, yeah. And like, oh, maybe someone's getting their rent for free, and then she just dies. Completely does not happen.
It is. It's
Maybe there's hope for her. Nope.
Nope.
Yeah.
she's
because
dead.
Maybe
it
it's got
has
a
an extra
Scrooge
layer though.
turnaround.
Because yes, what Carl said, it has that added layer of there's the Scrooge parallel, but without the redemption. Because they just
Yeah.
kill her, and that's funny. That's funnier.
I love it.
It's a hilarious
Dude,
death.
the police officers were cracking me up.
Well, yeah, 'cause
Just
Mike from
absolutely.
Breaking Bad.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, I saw him on. I was like, "Are you serious? That's Mike from Breaking Bad."
Jonathan
Was he
Banks.
there?
I saw
the younger cop.
I saw 2 episodes of Breaking Bad and went, not for me. That's a hot
yeah,
take.
then
by
you
the
didn't
way.
get to
But
him
and
yet.
I feel bad. That's one of the hot takes that I feel bad for because I know it's a cultural phenomenon. It's like one of the greatest television shows of all time. I wasn't into it.
I don't know if you'd
like.
enjoy it,
I don't
yeah,
like
if
drama
you got through it.
either. I don't like drama. I don't like dramatized, like even history docs. Like there's a
Yeah, there's a lot of things Breaking Bad checks that you don't like.
Right.
Yeah.
Like for example, what turned me off was the bathtub scene, and I was like, no. As soon as the bathtub
Oh,
and all
yeah,
the
that
giblets
was-
rain from the ceiling,
Yeah,
because
that
he
was
buys
a
the
lot.
wrong acid, I was like, I don't know if this is for me, man. And then like knowing that later on there's like characters like tied to a pole in a basement, and this dude Gus's face gets blown up in a wheelchair, and like I'm out, dude.
That was
I don't
so good.
I don't need like I am the
I had
danger.
a
I'm good, dude.
similar visceral reaction to Black Mirror, that first episode with the pig.
I can't watch that show either.
I tried to rewatch Black Mirror, and I watched the first episode again after watching all of them and went, why did I ever keep watching this show?
So yeah, I
What an
watched that episode.
insane
And I was
first
like,
episode.
I was like, what the hell is this? It's like this is TV's supposed to be funny.
I'm glad
Did
y'all
half
had
the cat-
fun with the movie because I was genuinely worried because
Oh no.
I didn't remember a lot about it. I knew like total line between like comedy and horror. I was particularly concerned that Danielle would hate it. I was afraid that you two would think it was dumb. So I'm glad it's scanned.
Can we talk about the love interest's backstory with her dad?
Yes, I want to talk about that for
Yes,
45
oh my
minutes.
God.
I want to talk about it for 45 minutes. I wrote two
What the
lines.
heck?
I wrote two lines
was-
down in the movie.
Yeah.
I wrote two lines down, and they were both hers. Okay? So the first one was when she's first, he asked her out on the date at the beginning of the movie. Does he ask her out on the date at the
Yeah.
beginning? He asked her out at the date at the
Beginning-ish.
very beginning of the movie. And that's when she let slip, like, I hate Christmas.
Yeah.
Right? And he's like, I hate Christmas. What the hell? Like, kind of like joking with her. But no, she has, well, we later learn actual PTSD for Christmas for a very good reason. But the line that they said, and it's a line that I don't think you could say now, and it
No.
had Danielle and I like screaming in the living room, was, quote, when everyone else is opening their presents, some people are opening their wrists. Which is wild.
Yeah.
Wild. And then later on in the movie, they're like, she's explaining why she hates Christmas. And it's all about like her dad like was supposed to come home from work and didn't show up. And then like it was Christmas Eve and then Christmas Day rolls around, he didn't show up. It's a couple more days and she lights the fireplace and quote, that's when I noticed the smell. And did I get it slightly bore you, I think?
No,
Or did
we were both
get it?
there.
We get it at the
We were
same
both
time.
there.
And both of our jaws go, oh my God, he's Santa'd in the...
He's dead.
Yeah.
He died in the
He
chimney.
died.
She said,
But the
and that's
line
how I
was-
found out. Oh, you do it.
No, you do it, please.
And she's like, and that's how I found out there's no Santa Claus. And I was like, Steven, what the fuck? Steven!
But we were like, your jaw was the most on the floor
I
I've
was just
ever
like,
heard.
what?
They could have picked any backstory. We spent 2 minutes on this. It did not matter how he died.
No,
And they
no.
chose this.
But it's...
Not. He got
My
in a
note
car
before
accident
that
on the
was,
way
this
home.
seems like a great time for an exposition dump. And then I was like, oh, God. I'm like, what are we doing here?
actual PTSD, like, oh, this person more than anyone else in any like media has a really good reason to hate Christmas.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
I would also hate Christmas.
Now I
Yeah,
couldn't tell
she's
if
handling
you were,
it very well.
I couldn't tell if Danielle was gonna like laugh or cry during it because like I kept like looking at your eyes, like are they full of tears or is she about
They
to
were.
fall on the ground laughing?
They were full of tears, but laughing tears.
Like I'm in the kitchen making
God.
cider while this is happening. It was
God.
crazy.
I don't know why. Thinking like I'll get in like an algorithm hole of like cave deaths every so often, and I don't know where it comes
real.
from because I don't like them and I don't watch them because I don't want to watch them. But as soon as the story started and she mentioned like as soon as I was clued into like he like got stuck in the
Upside
chimney
down.
upside down, then all I could think of was all the cave deaths that I've
Is there really
like
a thing?
inadvertently watched,
Yeah.
and then I just freak out because I'm like. "Ah."
Claustrophobic.
Or like
Also-
just I don't know. I've heard a few like murders about other people dying in chimneys and just murder's bad.
Who does that?
Who does that?
Who does
why,
that?
Why would you think it would go well?
You could surprise them with
come to
gifts
the front
just by
door,
going through the
yeah.
front door.
on the front door.
Still a surprise.
Like, did we not understand like the Santa
you know what else is a
lore?
surprise? Just gifts underneath the tree.
Yeah. You know what?
Also, how
true.
was he?
Like,
How was he trying to get down? Was he just jumping through the chimney?
Yeah,
or like
'cause they said he broke
pushing
his
against
neck.
the wall and like slowly.
No, it takes.
It was he Spider-Manning down the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, can
Oh,
people
God.
normally fit through chimneys?
No, they're
like, I don't
tiny.
think. Yeah,
We should
they're
ask
small.
Aaron. We should ask Aaron Remington.
We should.
How big are chimneys?
It's so
How big is a
insane.
chimney?
He's a chimney.
Is it reasonable to think that
Oh,
you
man.
can fit down one?
Boppity
I think
bop,
that
bop,
answers
boppity bop, bop.
no.
Stuck in the chimney dies.
God.
Where did
I hope
Dad
he wanted to be
go?
cremated.
Oh God. Nick.
And they're like, we thought it was an animal, and then we realized, ooh,
It was my dad.
my dead dad. Then that's how I found
Wearing
out.
a
So, yeah,
Santa
and
suit.
That's
And
how
then-
I
That's
found
why I
out.
don't like Christmas. Like, okay, you're right. My bad.
Santa's not real. Dad died in the chimney. It's crazy.
Which, I mean, just because he's dressed as Santa doesn't necessarily mean that Santa's not real.
Yeah.
Like, she kind of like,
Well,
These
no,
are
I think
mutually
it's.
exclusive.
yeah.
I think you just rip that Band-Aid off. It doesn't get worse than your dad's
Yeah.
dead. It's the perfect time to tell your child Santa Claus doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a perfect time
Maybe
to
we'll have- we might
continue
as well
with the
take-
magic.
Maybe real Santa will still come.
No,
Yeah,
oh,
it's-
honey.
While we're down.
Yeah, it's like, listen, this is going to be the
Oh,
17th
God.
thing on your mind after I tell you this, but Santa Claus is not.
Oh my God.
Oh, what an insane undertone
Yeah.
for a
It's
movie.
Unbelievable.
I don't think the movie needed it, but boy, am I
No.
glad it was in there because it's so batshit crazy that I
It's
I was
ridiculous.
reveling in it. It's so funny. I was scream laughing in my living room when she said, and that's how I found out Santa Claus was in there.
Billy's lines are doing that for me because like he seemed like he was sedated like half the movie.
Yeah.
Like he would do something like he like at one point he like pulls up the frayed wire and shows it to his mom and he's like, "Mom, what's going on? What's the meaning of this?" And I was like, "Why is she gonna know?" Like I wrote down that he reminded me of like if a young Seinfeld tried to do a Ben Stiller impression from Starsky and Hutch with a little bit of Casey Affleck in the face.
Oh, I got to think through that.
I don't.
It seemed like half the things he mentioned. I have no idea. What
Yeah,
that means.
no idea.
It's just like, if you watch it, you'll know. And then I had another one too, where I was like, the guy that was drinking.
Yeah,
Um,
okay, yeah. The guy
He
that,
is a mix between Bryan Cranston, Willem Dafoe with some Tommy Lee or Robert De Niro.
Okay, I had one for this
Yeah.
movie. I had one for this movie. The mom had a Sally Fields-ness about her.
Oh yeah.
She's Frog from Smokey and the Bandit, the love interest. Yeah, she had a little bit of a Sally Fields.
From Miss Doubtfire.
Phoebe!
Don't eat shit off the floor.
I don't know what she was doing. Just checking.
So acorns keep getting stuck on the bottom of my flip flops, and then get kicked off when I transfer from the carpet to the chair mat. So that's probably what she's eating. She's probably eating acorns, which dogs
Do
shouldn't
we
eat.
need a movie like Wicked, but called Gizmo that makes him a hero, or like called Stripe or whatever that like makes them not villains?
Humanizes Stripe.
no.
It's like
No.
from the Gremlins perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like,
Yeah.
the main questions one would have, and I guess the answer is like the gross stereotype of like Eastern mysticism and like Chinese, bonkersness. But what the hell? Where? Like, how do we get Gremlin? Like, did they come from space? Is their planet?
And the
Gremlin
family
out there?
just is like,
That's
yeah,
I
these
wonder if
rules
that's-
make
Are
sense.
they demons? What are they?
Do they have
I
like
think
a?
that's
like-
Gremlins too.
I need a Transformers backstory. Like they're on this robot planet. There was a war, and now they're on Earth.
Yeah.
But just one.
The Gremlins
Unless
lived in
you-
Utopia until the
Yeah.
rain came. Yeah.
Until the rain came, then they start, and like it's really sad, like how much like Gizmo's face after the first ones pop out of his back, and he's like tired, and like it hurts a lot. Like that's like oh,
Poor little guy.
But here's what I appreciate.
Wrap
that the
him
movie
up in
did.
a scarf.
I appreciate that the movie did two things, and first of all, the mom doesn't get too effed up by the Gremlins. Like she has her like reverse psycho movement, stabbing them, stabbing them and throwing them in a blender, and I think all that's super cool. My favorite thing that the movie didn't do was it didn't kill Gizmo and it didn't kill the dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked that we let Gizmo be like, oh, there's still a good one. And there were versions of the movie where Gizmo dies and where the
The dog
Gremlins kill the
dies.
dog. Yeah. And the script writers were like, we have to get like the audience is going to obviously killing dogs is a good way to turn off like anybody. Like I know like Joe, our friend Joe that we all know, like he won't watch certain things because dogs die. Like Chernobyl. There's a dogs have to be like
I Am
euthanized in
Legend.
Chernobyl, and he won't. And he will not watch. Like that is his hard line. I won't do dog deaths, and I'm kind of with him on that. And Gizmo too. Like you can't.
We're talking about dog deaths. Danielle's over here cracking up for no reason.
Well, you were just like, that's a hard line. And I was just like, for me, that's rape.
Wait, a high road. Yeah.
That's a hell of a high road. Actually, I think sexual assault is bad. I'm like, wow.
Dog death is bad. Well, I don't want to be violated against my will.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
Hey,
I guess
bold stance,
that's fair.
dude. Bold stance. Danielle, tough on rape. Like, yeah, dude.
That's way worse than
I think
death.
we're all with
Soft
you.
Dog
dogs.
death.
I think we're all with you on that one. That's pretty bad.
It starts with dogs. It's
No
not the
one-
only bad thing.
No one's gonna be like, no, you know what? I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. Doesn't really bother me.
I mean,
there are people like that.
sides?
There are people like that, and they're all Republicans in Congress.
Just like Murray. Murray would have probably voted for him.
Yeah. What?
Murray.
The guy with the tractor.
Oh.
Named Murray.
Oh, 100%.
Oh yeah,
Foreign.
damn foreign cars. That guy
He was so just mad about foreigners.
Well, hey,
He was-
hey,
yeah.
and guess who he would have
having a
voted
tough time.
Yeah, I know.
for? You know, him and everybody else about to learn how tariffs work. All right. So, how long have we been talking? Like 50 years. Let's do him and a miss. Any final thoughts, actually, before we go to him and a miss? This is where Nick does his monologue, where he just recounts. the
I
whole movie.
have a detail that I appreciated.
Oh, okay, go. Which one?
So at the very end, when they're in the department store, and there's like all the TVs, and Stripe was like on all the TVs, and Billy's like, in my head, I'm like, how is he on all the TVs? And then as we pan out, there's a
camera.
sign that says like, see yourself on
yourself.
TV. And I was like, I appreciate
Thank you,
that
yeah.
being included because now it makes sense.
Yeah.
I just thought it was insane that he decided to blow up the movie theater.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, don't turn on the lights or take a picture of
Yeah.
all of them that are all together in one place. Just blow it up. Start a gas leak.
It worked.
Open
Full on
flame.
ransom.
The thing I was thinking of
It did
is
work.
my brain immediately went to, and I had to shut it down, of how long it would actually take for a gas leak to fill a movie theater
Oh.
to the point where it would be combustible in the air, significant enough to blow the
fully
doors off.
that
Yeah.
combustible.
And I think the answer is a long time.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't care.
We'll roll with it.
Yeah.
It's not the worst thing that happened in this movie. Or the most egregious thing that happened in
What
this
was the
movie.
most egregious thing that happened?
I don't know. It might have been that. It was a figure of speech. It happened a lot in this movie.
He got
Crumbled
any
under-
pressure and buckled.
Crumbled under.
Anyways, moving on. Hit me or miss.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Nothing.
I don't actually believe that at all.
Yeah. I'm just saying things, guys.
I just want to talk into my microphone for a little bit. Everybody else has one. I want to say things into mine.
Don't question me on it. I haven't thought it out. Man.
Oh man. Nick's got core beliefs, but his core is just a toilet paper roll holding up the foundations.
Oh, whatever.
That was hysterical. All right, let's do him and a miss. I'll start because it was my pick. I liked this movie a lot. I remember almost nothing, so it was almost like watching it for the first time, except for knowing, like, like I knew like Gizmo lived and they went bad and like all this stuff, but I didn't remember any details. So it was fun, like rewatching the movie, like almost with fresh eyes. I had a blast. The stairlift scene's hilarious. The PTSD scenes were.
Yeah, so good.
I don't know if I was supposed to take them as hilarious, but boy,
Oh, boy, were they.
wow! And just good, clean fun. I think Gremlins, good, clean fun.
Yep.
5 stars for me. It's a blast. Next,
I'll go. Hit for sure.
yeah.
I loved how
Oh, that makes me so glad.
I love how everything is super high stakes, but also at the same time, it's just so fun.
Yeah,
Like nothing, like you don't worry. Fun watch.
a good balance, Carl.
This is a hit, yeah. This movie's a talker, you know? I mean, it's
What
got
the hell
something for
does that
everybody.
mean?
It's just
This
from a
movie won't
Harmontown
shut
bit.
up.
Carl is also just saying
You got to
things.
talk about this movie. One of my notes is literally, "This is the best movie ever." So yeah, I'll leave it at that. Yeah,
As
I
fun
was
as
in the
the
perfect
Roadhouse
state to
is,
watch it.
high
that's
praise.
the vitamins talking.
Yeah.
As fun as Roadhouse is high. But think about it, Roadhouse.
Everything you want a movie to do, though, this movie does and delivers. So
That's
yeah.
like
No.
like the original Roadhouse. Is that a good? Is
There's no
Roadhouse
singing.
a good movie? No. But it's
What did I say? It was like it was a good movie, but not a good film or something. I was trying to
Exactly,
be
yeah.
some like highbrow distinction, but like it's a fun movie. Like
Yeah.
it's a perfect movie.
This is the Gremlins so good. All right, what'd you think? Come bring us crashing
we
down to
go.
earth, if you will.
Wow.
give it a myth.
No, not a miss. I don't know. Hit just feels like too much.
Why?
I don't know.
Fun.
I don't know.
Gizmo baby.
Gizmo's
Phoebe.
cute.
It's Christmas.
Phoebe.
Look at her.
Bobby, why?
Bobby.
Bobby. I don't know. I don't know. I can't decide now. I'm on the spot.
You've
I'm
never
gonna
done that
get-
for a movie, though.
What?
We've done 95 of these, and you've always had an answer for hit, or miss.
I have always had an answer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Mid plus?
Mid plus.
Mid plus.
I don't
We'll
know.
accept that. Danielle hates
Like
fun.
I don't hate fun, but this wasn't like the most fun I've had. I mean, I also Roadhouse isn't like on my upper
Oh my
echelon.
god.
Of,
Oh,
Yeah.
Roadhouse is absolutely
but like, I mean,
on.
Roadhouse is not like.
Like movies that I've had the most fun with on the podcast, like Roadhouse is up there. And that was our first episode, and it sucks. Don't listen to it, but it's awesome. Carl, this is actually do listen to it because Carl's best joke he's ever told is in that episode.
I do have a pretty good joke.
It's at the end though. Just
Like-
skip to like the last 20 minutes.
I
Watch
liked
all of it. It
Gremlins.
really
was
builds.
fun, but I don't know. It wasn't like amazing. I wasn't like, this is the best.
But you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Would you watch it again?
Sure.
That's a hit.
Not as much as I'd watch.
I'm taking it as a hit. I don't care.
Not as much as I'd want. Like, I would rather watch other ones a second time before this one.
Name 5. I'm kidding. Name 1 though. Like what would you watch
Starting with
again
number
before?
5.
From our movie list?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know all of our
Okay,
movies.
that's fine.
That's too much. That's too much to think.
But
I
you-
can start.
enjoyed
I can
it.
list
It's
them.
Yeah. Number 1, Roadhouse. Number 2.
No, I'd watch Gremlins
Number
again
3.
before Roadhouse.
Okay. But would you watch Roadhouse?
It's hard because Gremlins is Christmas.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't
So
want
is
to
Die
watch
Hard.
it throughout the rest.
Okay. Tangentially Christmas movies. Gremlins or Die Hard?
I think
Ooh.
Die Hard's a better movie.
100% Die Hard's a better movie.
I agree, but I would pick
But I would
Gremlins.
also
fun
pick,
watching
if,
this one.
If I was going to, okay, here's why. If I was cooking in the kitchen, I want Gremlins on. If I'm sitting down to watch it, I
right.
want Die Hard on. Does that make sense?
That makes
I don't
sense.
feel
No,
like
yeah.
Die Hard is
100%.
a background movie. Gremlins could be a background movie.
Yeah.
Compliment.
It's easier to follow. There's like long, broad strokes that you're like, okay, they're in this part.
You
of the
can
movie
look
now.
away
Whereas
for
you want
10
to watch
minutes.
the details of.
Yeah.
I mean,
Die
Nick
Hard.
has said it's high stakes, but it's also like like low stakes.
stakes,
yeah.
It's like, yeah.
I would
Chill.
call that though, but I would say that that's a skill.
Things happen and then they stop.
You get dropped in, things happen, and then they stop.
So poignant.
Wow.
Poet.
And nobody was hot.
Nobody was hot.
I don't know.
We haven't done hot points in 1,000 years.
We did them
We
for
need
Knives
hotter
Out.
movies.
We need hotter movies.
It's been since Knives Out, and I don't even remember who you did for Knives Out.
Chris.
Random.
Chris Evans' character.
Super
I
hot.
almost spoiled the next movie.
Oh.
Oh,
It was
snap.
like, maybe I can do hot points for. Should I
Can you do
say
hot
it?
points for Michael
For
Caine?
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine. Yeah. No, yeah. So our next movie, we'll just do this before. Oh, by the way, Big Room Certified Bangers, 3 hits. It's great. Love this movie. Gremlins, great. Good movie. Gremlins, good.
Good movie.
Good movie. I'm so I cannot express how relieved I am that I just didn't get dog piled on for making everybody watch Gremlins. I'm so glad Danielle didn't hate it. Now, next movie, we have it is the season, as they say. Gremlins was our lead in. We were gonna have 4 Christmas movies, but Wizard of Oz needed to be done because Nick hadn't seen it. Because what? And just for him and Carl to shit all over it.
That's part of why I went
The
mid
worst.
revenge.
So, our next movie, it has been a thing online in the past couple weeks to give Michael Caine his flowers for The Muppets Christmas Carol, for being one of his greater acting performances. Some people have gone as far to say.
Huh.
He is, I believe, one of the few humans in it. And I assume that he's Scrooge. So but I don't know that. I've never seen it. Is he not?
I don't know, but I would guess that a Muppet is Scrooge for some reason. But maybe
No,
I'm totally
I don't.
wrong.
I don't think so. Nick and I had this argument because he, like, as the Big Room, responded to some like tweet about or thread about like, if you had to remake a movie with
all the
Muppets but keep one human, what did you say?
I said Batman, but keep Riddler.
And I disagreed.
Because of all the Muppets, Batman, Kermit fighting Riddler.
No,
I thought it was funny.
I disagreed. I think you keep Batman.
No, you said keep Alfred.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I think you keep Alfred. I think you keep a tangential, like
Good guy?
fatherly, almost good guy character. And yeah, I think you like Kermit's Batman.
Yeah, it's got to be like an everyman.
Yeah, right. I don't think you do the villain necessarily, but obviously with an exception. Like if you're gonna do Christmas Carol, watch Michael Caine be Marley.
That's why.
He's in it for
That's
10 seconds.
That's why I think Michael Caine's not Scrooge, because you keep the fatherly character. Maybe
I don't think I want to know.
I'm looking it up. This is before we were born.
He's got to be Scrooge.
Hey, guess what? He's Scrooge.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, because that's how you write the movie. You approach the Muppet movie for like you approach Christmas Carol, and Jim Henson goes, "How do we do this as a Muppets?" And like unanimously, I feel like it would be like, "Well, Scrooge is a person, like
Yeah.
he's got to be," because it's so much more fun, Nick, if you have the ghosts be Muppets taking Scrooge through like his life. That's just amazing. I can't wait to watch it. 1992 is the Muppets Christmas Carol. It'll be
My second Muppets movie.
my third. I think I've seen New
Mine
York.
too.
I think I've seen New York. Doesn't that have Sudeikis in it?
I don't know.
I think it does. I think Muppets in New York has Sudeikis. I don't know, but the Muppets, I can't wait to watch.
Seagal?
This. Seagal. That's what I meant.
Oh,
That's what I meant. I'm sorry. They S names.
yeah, they're the same person.
Same guy.
Both
you know,
Jason.
You know, whatever. Paul Giamatti, friggin' Howie Mandel, Birds of a Feather.
That was you guys.
You know
I
what
mean,
it is?
you guys made that assumption.
You know what it is? All white people look the same.
Not when they're painted blue.
All
Especially when they're painted
All
blue.
blue people look the same.
Blue Man Group.
Probably.
Blue
Case
Man
in
Group.
point.
They all look. Yeah.
They literally look the same.
There's been
There's
dozen-
literally
that's
just
the
a group
whole
of them.
There's been dozens.
No one
of
knows their names.
I want Paul Giamatti to walk on stage during a Blue Man Group show. Just as his character.
Oh.
Himself.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. All right. Well, that's that. We're watching Muppets Christmas Carol next week. I can't wait to have to say that like 45 times in 7 days. Now, 20 questions time. We haven't played 20 questions in a little bit
20
because we
Q.
ran out of time. And we have a little bit of time. And it's Carl's turn for 20 questions.
All right,
If you-
Goldblum.
We have a running out of
Oh,
time.
pick a movie.
We're going to play 20 questions now. I don't have a good Goldblum, but I'm trying my best. All right. So if you are just joining us, an hour into an episode, or you haven't managed to catch an episode with 20 questions, Carl has selected a movie out of the movies we have watched during the lifetime of our show. So if you'd like to open our YouTube channel in a second tab or your podcast app and guess along with us, we have 20 questions to figure out what movie he's picked. It's really easy rules. Carl, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, he's ready. Danielle, would you like to do the inaugural question?
As always. This year or last year?
Was last year.
Last
year.
year. So that means scroll to Smokey and the Bandit and go backwards.
Yep. Was it a superhero movie?
It was not.
Well, that eliminates like one film.
Well, now we know it's not that one.
Yeah, well, it's not Hellboy, do you think? Before or after, let's say 1995.
Before.
Okay, before my birth year.
Is it in black and white?
It is not, and that's number 4.
Okay. Did I like it?
I believe so.
Oh, that's not a strong yet.
I'm having a hard time remembering.
So it's not a
What the-
Scorsese, because I
Yeah.
hate that guy.
Is it a part of a franchise?
It is not, and that's 6.
Would you categorize it as a drama?
I think so.
Is it Inside Llewyn Davis?
But there's other elements in there.
No.
Wait, what?
Is it Inside Llewyn Davis?
It is not.
Okay.
He said before
Nice.
95.
Oh, you're right. Before 95. That's fine. I'll burn a question on that.
Wait, what was your answer to the drama?
I would say it's mostly drama.
Mostly
but there's like other
drama.
elements in there.
Mostly drama before 95.
And I'm not counting that a question. I think that's 8.
We didn't watch a lot before 95. I mean, we did. We watched a lot of really old movies.
I don't remember.
Danielle, you haven't asked a question in a while.
Yeah, I'm not good at coming up with the questions.
Keep them coming.
Okay, Fight Club was 99, so it's not that. It's obviously not 300. It's going to be
Is-
no Tarantino films.
Is the lead actor male or female?
Lead is male. That is 9.
The lead is male.
Well, that's not to be divisive or whatever. That's just
Oh, it is.
phrasing.
Well, most of the movies we watched
Okay,
last year were
okay.
male.
Did
Yeah.
Danielle like it?
I don't think so. I really can't remember.
Drama though. Shit.
Oh, yeah, that's throwing me. It's not a lot of last year was drama.
And I liked it.
I think so. I feel like it was divisive between the group.
This is hard.
Is it a police movie?
It is not.
Dang.
And that's
Okay, so
11, but there's also a lot of like half questions like, and I didn't do this, so I'm not counting those.
Right. Just like
Yeah,
actual
so that's
Walmart
11.
questions.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not.
I was thinking I like Confidential for some reason.
Okay. Wasn't that
But-
before? Wasn't that after 95?
I thought it was like 91.
Maybe.
I don't know, but
Is it considered a classic?
That's a good question.
Oh.
Yeah.
No
Yes.
or yes?
I think so.
Jesus.
And that's 12.
I think so.
It's considered a classic. It's before,
Before
1995, and it's possibly a drama. What the hell?
I will say there's comedic elements. There's,
Okay,
but I think by and large it would be considered a drama.
is it weird?
Kind of, yeah. That's 13, I think.
I have a guess. Should I just
I do have a guess. I don't know if I want to say it.
say it? We might have the same guess.
Is it Blade Runner?
It is not.
That wasn't my guess. Is it Labyrinth?
It is not.
Okay.
15.
That was 88, which is
Well,
why
how
I-
does
Oh,
Carl always pick the hardest ones?
is it animated?
It is not. 16.
I think that was a waste of a question.
I
don't think
know it
anything
was.
animated before 95.
Nope.
Like even a Bug's Life.
Oh,
is-
before 95. Yeah,
exactly.
dang it.
We didn't watch
I know we
Bugs
need like
Life
a
either.
board with all the questions up there.
So that's 16.
Yeah.
Drama.
Before 95? What the fuck?
And it's not black and white.
It's not.
So
Okay.
Was that a
what's-
question?
No, I was reminding-
Okay.
Okay.
the boys.
I don't remember the answer to the question about if it was a franchise. Can you
It is not.
reiterate? It's not a
not.
franchise. So it's not The Godfather, right? Which is what I would go to. It's not.
But it wasn't universally loved by us, which I
don't
think
think
rules
so.
out Scarface.
I should have probably went to the hit or miss and seen.
When did this freaking movie come?
Mm?
That's an action movie.
Actions can be dramas. Actions have drama.
Did
But
we?
I didn't like this movie, and Carl
Well,
said
he doesn't
thinks I liked
No,
it.
I'm not sure. That's I can't really remember.
Did we
what the
ask
group's
about
thoughts.
like directors?
No, but that's
Was-
doesn't super narrow it down because we didn't have a lot of repeats that weren't already eliminated. Like I don't like Scorsese. It's not going to be that. It's pre 1995, so it's not.
Oh,
going
it's
to be
pre 95.
Tarantino.
I keep forgetting that. Yeah.
I mean, drama adjacent films. My brain is going to like Top Gun was 88. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, but Daniel resoundingly liked that. He wasn't sure on that. It's not black and white, so it's not Third Man. It's not Casablanca. It's
Or Maltese Falcon.
or Maltese Falcon. Rain Man. Is it Rain Man?
It is Rain Man.
Okay.
Ah.
I was gonna ask that whether he reacted or not because I felt shitty about saying it. Okay, so it was Rain Man. We were close though on that. That was like 17.
Yeah. That was like 17. Yeah.
Fool.
I
I don't
was
even
like,
know
I
what
knew that
happens if
would
we don't
be-
get it.
My guess.
I couldn't remember if you guys liked it or not. That's where I was kind of getting stuck on it. But I was like, it's
think I thought
definitely
it
a
was
drama.
Fine.
My guess before that was gonna
Yeah.
be Top Gun.
But yeah.
I was wondering if you were like pulling out like it's kind of a drama because we have the death thing and shit. But I hated Top Gun. I didn't hate it. I think it's a dumb,
Yeah.
dumb.
I think I
movie.
would call that one more action though.
Yeah, it is resoundingly
Yeah.
an action movie. Okay, Rain
But
Man.
drama's
Wow.
Rain Man's drama. I would
It
think
is.
there's
No,
some
I
comedic
agree.
elements, but yeah.
Both Tom Cruise, both 80s.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, that was it.
I almost got away with it.
that
Man,
one.
Again.
That was so
So
close.
We still.
Yeah.
knock on
I've no
particle
poker
board.
face though.
We haven't
Unlike
lost.
Rain Man.
So that was a very interesting. I was stressing. I actually forgot. I started firing questions, forgetting that I only had 20. I thought I had 30 for some reason. So you said 15. I'm like, oh, we have halfway there.
30 questions.
It's not the game.
Well, there you go, folks. 20 questions for the first time in a couple weeks.
Hey.
That's feels good to do one of those. Well, this is a bit of a chaotic episode.
Yep.
Sorry if you wanted
all
an
over the
hour. If you were
place.
expecting an hour of Gremlins and got me yelling about how most Indiana Jones films are bad,
If you
I do
wanted an hour of
apologize.
Gremlins, just add 40 and watch a
Just
incredible
watch-
movie.
Watch
So
Gremlins.
watch Gremlins.
Gremlins is lit. Hey,
Yeah.
you know, the further we get in, the more Christmassy it gets. So, Muppets Christmas Carol next time. I could not be more jazzed for that. I'm wondering if there's going to be a song like Rainbow Connection that's just going to take me out. Oh, we are going to watch, by the way, hopefully, the extended version that has the removed scene re-added that was taken out, which means y'all are going to have to get Disney Plus.
God.
Get a trial, you Muppet.
I've already got that. Yeah.
And it's like cheaper than it's ever been. There's all these bundles now. You can get a bundle with HBO and Hulu for like 11 cents. So
Yeah, whatever.
yeah, we're gonna watch the extended version, which if you're on Disney Plus, I believe is under extras. If you want to watch along with us, it's under extras on the main movie. There's a sad song involving Michael Caine that was deemed too sad for the movie and was cut, but very recently re-added, but not to the theatrical version. Like they didn't modify the theatrical release; they added it in extras. So that's the version we're gonna watch.
Okay.
Because that's the version David said to watch. And,
Alright.
you know, I'm all for an extra song.
Do we need to like pause it at a certain point and then go to that and watch
No,
it?
no,
or
no.
is it
It's the full
matter-
version of the movie.
Oh,
just with
okay,
that
okay,
scene
okay,
added,
okay.
yeah. I think
Gotcha,
there's a
gotcha,
couple
gotcha.
extras. There's like a behind the scenes. There's that deleted scene, and then there's the full movie with that scene added. So it should be
Okay.
pretty clean and easy. So,
Nice.
hey, Christmas. It's Christmas.
Happy
Merry-
Christmas.
Merry Chrysler.
Merry Chrysler. So,
Merry
hey, Muppets.
Crisis.
Muppets next week. Thanks for listening. Follow us on all the things, and we'll catch you in the next one.